Hello, everyone. Welcome to the couch. I'm Vox, along with Teddy and Doc, as usual. And joining us for the holidays is Penny.
Hello.
You've seen Penny a bit in the past. She's Teddy's girlfriend and has been here to help us on previous shows when she was visiting. But she's here for the holidays, all the way from Norway, so she's going to be sitting in for a little bit. All right. Well, today is Cyber Monday, and there is a massive sale on Hulu memberships. Now, I've been looking at Hulu for a while. Orville will be a Hulu exclusive soon, and Hellstrom looks really interesting. Plus, I'm getting closer and closer to telling Comcast to take a flying leap. I initially intended to bundle Hulu with Disney Plus, but in a moment of overeagerness, I jumped at a pre-release promotion for Disney Plus that got me 3 years for one price. And that did not include Hulu, so I kind of lost my opportunity for Hulu bundle, at least in the short term, i.e. the next 2-ish years. But today I saw a pop-up that was offering Hulu for $1.99. That is why I defend targeted ads, as disconcerting as they are. Since recently I'd put Hulu into the search bar when I was checking prices, Facebook was able to provide me with an ad I actually wanted to see, as opposed to randomly assuming I was interested in diapers or fishing lures or dating sites. Side note, never put single on your Facebook profile.
My Facebook says I'm single. I just get a lot of ads for porn.
That does not surprise me. So we signed up for Hulu, and tonight we're going to be checking out the new Kristen Stewart Christmas romantic comedy, The Happiest Season.
If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, press 1 now. For a list of movies in your area, press 2 now. To get reviews from Friday on the Couch, press 3 now.
In a world with unlimited choices, but limited time, 3 friends have come thumbs in hand to show the way. Have a seat, kick off your shoes, and join them for Friday on the Couch.
Rattle that into success. Some assembly required. Do not try this film.
Huh. That was... I'm not sure.
I thought it was beautiful. It reminded me of when I started dating Penny, and I was afraid to tell my parents.
Were you afraid they wouldn't accept her?
Yes, and that they would eat her.
That's a bit more complicated.
I had 2 fathers, which isn't uncommon among penguins. They found my egg abandoned and decided to raise me themselves. They always taught me to be comfortable with who I am and who I love, no matter what others said. It shocked me that Teddy was worried about his parents' reaction, because I never experienced that type of discrimination.
What ended up happening?
Well, they didn't eat her, so that was good. They said it wasn't what they wanted for me, which I know means it wasn't what they wanted for them, but everyone has to live their own narrative. I'm sure they still think I'm going to eat her one day.
Shush. You don't need to bring up our bedroom life to everyone.
Ha 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 ha.
Are you blushing, Teddy? Anyway, let's talk about the movie. This is a spoiler warning. I don't think we can talk effectively about this without spoilers, so I'm putting the warning up. If you haven't seen this and you want to go watch it first before you watch the review. Of course, it's a Christmas movie, romantic comedy, so you can probably assume where the story is going to go based just on the most flimsy synopsis. But if you're someone who doesn't like to know, well, now you know where this review is headed. Okay, now that that's out of the way, the movie begins with a series of watercolor drawings alongside the credits that depict the beginning of a relationship between Abby and Harper. It's kind of like a calendar or calendar pictures because there's dates next to them, so you kind of get the idea of how this is moving through time. And it starts off with a meeting at a Christmas party of my mutual friend, and it says December 14th. And then it goes to them having a date together for coffee or whatever, and that's on January 1st. And then you see their first kiss in February, and then you see them getting in a relationship and dating and moving into July and moving in together in September, and then they fall in love. And so their whole backstory is covered in this like montage of just pictures of their history. And so when the live action opens in earnest, we have our main couple on one of those city walking tours that normally only tourists go on. But this one is Christmas themed and takes place in their city of Pittsburgh, with taking people down Candy Cane Lane, which is filled with decorated houses and a tour guide offering probably more information than you bargained for.
He even hired his nephew Otis to play Santa Claus for many years until he was arrested for child endangerment in 1992. Ooh, you guys gotta look at this house.
It's in this setting that we find out that Abby doesn't really like Christmas.
Did her father leave on Christmas Eve, never to be seen again, and only to be found weeks later with a broken neck stuck in the chimney?
And instead, they pulled out my father. He slipped and broke his neck. Died instantly. And that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
No.
Did she get left alone at Christmas in a big empty house and have to fend off murderous burglars?
Hiya, pal. We outsmarted you this time. Get over here.
No.
Were her parents trapped in a building taken over by terrorists while a terrifying reporter tried to intimidate her nanny and ask her questions on television?
Look, you let me in right now or I call the INS. Comprende? Look, this is the last time these kids are gonna have to speak to their parents. Alright?
No. Her parents died, not on Christmas or related to Christmas, they just died. And like most people who have endured loss, the holidays are hard because the loss is more pronounced when those family traditions are gone. But anyway, she doesn't like Christmas.
Oh, God, you hate it. No, I don't hate it, baby. I'm just not a huge Christmas person. I know, but...
But Harper loves Christmas. And she loves Abby, and she wants Abby to love Christmas too.
How can you not like the lights and the decorations and the Christmas trees?
So they're on this walking tour to kind of try and show Abby how beautiful Christmas is. And in the process of really trying to get Abby to be in love with Christmas as much as she is, Harper kind of becomes drunk with giddiness and invites Abby to come home with her and see how beautiful her family Christmases are.
Yeah, drunk is a good way to put it, because that is the only way this happens otherwise.
Yeah, true. There is some suspension of disbelief that needs to go there, particularly after the next scenes. So, the next morning, Harper is having second thoughts, as if regretting something done in a moment of drunkenness.
Mm-hmm.
But Abby, she's giddy with excitement to be having a family Christmas again because she's missed it so much.
I just woke up thinking about going home with you and got very excited about Christmas.
Oh, baby, you don't have to come.
No, I genuinely want to go. I get to go meet the people that made my favorite person.
So even though Harper wants to back out of the agreement, she can't bring herself to do it because she sees how happy Abby is. So they pack and head out to Harper's hometown. And Midway through the drive, Harper confesses to Abby that she hasn't come out of the closet to her parents and family, which is a shock to Abby. Harper swears she plans to come out after the new year, but that with the holidays and her father's political career, now isn't the time. And she convinces Abby to go along with her charade and pretend to be her orphan roommate who's coming home with her because she has nowhere else to go.
And this is Harper's orphan friend. This is Abby.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so
As the story continues, Abby sees Harper slip further and further into her old life, which is further and further away from her. Harper meets back up with her ex-boyfriend, whom her parents are determined to get her back together with.
How's it going?
Connor, how funny to see you here.
You told me to be here at 7, right?
Oh, wow.
Great to see you, Connor.
There's also an unexpected run-in with Harper's first girlfriend, Riley.
So I'm just gonna sneak
God,
on by
sorry.
you guys.
was that the Riley?
Okay, that one really wasn't my fault.
Well, who knows? Maybe another one of your exes will bring up dessert. Okay. Oh my God.
Whom Harper really secretly loved, but instead of admitting the truth, denounced as gay to prevent suspicion falling on her in high school.
One day, one of Harper's friends found one of the letters, and she asked Harper what it was about, and Harper basically just said that I am gay and that I wouldn't leave her alone. And then within a couple days, like, everybody in school found out, and everybody was so awful to me.
The separation and callous disregard of Abby by Harper starts to erode their relationship. Abby goes on the trip initially thinking that she'll ask Harper to marry her on Christmas.
I understand this is very old-fashioned, but I'm probably going to ask her dad for his blessing and propose on Christmas morning.
But after being forced back into the closet and being basically forgotten, Abby isn't sure who Harper is anymore, let alone if she wants to be with her forever. Everything comes to a head when Harper's one-dimensionally vindictive sister, Sloane, overhears an argument between Harper and Abby and discovers they're gay.
Matilda and Magnus.
She immediately runs off to tell the family. And when Sloane does tell the family about the relationship at a massive party filled with friends and political allies of the father, Harper calls Sloane a liar and denies loving Abby right in front of her.
Harper is a lesbian. Abby's her girlfriend. She is lying.
Abby breaks up with Harper right there and leaves. Harper realizes she can't live two lives and confesses her truth to her parents, while also telling them the unfair burden of perfection her parents have placed on her and her sisters. The sisters stand with her, united, for the first time in the film, and it reads like the first time maybe ever. The career politician, probably a Republican, can't accept this and leaves. But when a major campaign donor calls after having attended the party, witnessing the turmoil, and promises funding if the father can convince Harper to keep her little secret hidden,
And Harper can adopt a don't ask, don't tell policy regarding her private life, I think we could be in business.
he turns down the money in favor of letting his daughter be who she truly is. Meanwhile, in a parking lot of a local Circle K out of town, Abby is talking to her best friend John, who came to drive her home. He's giving very sage advice, as only a gay best friend can, about the difference between everyone's coming out journey.
And then once you say those words, you can't unsay them. A chapter has ended and a new one's begun, and you have to be ready for that.
This is where Harper finds them.
There's a whole Find My Phone tracking side plot, so it isn't that unlikely.
Right. Harper expresses her love for Abby and apologizes and begs for another chance.
I will make it up to you. I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you. And I won't hurt you like this again.
Abby agrees, and in a big tie-up montage titled 1 Year Later, we see that the family has accepted Abby, that her and Harper are now engaged and spending Christmas happily with the new mayor and his family.
I love happy endings.
Me too.
Yeah. But let's dig a little deeper.
Well, like we said, the whole idea that Harper would invite Abby home knowing the situation is a bit far-fetched. But once you get past that, everything else played is very believable.
I liked that the little sister was so awkward. She was funny.
It's probably okay.
I'm not such a big fan of comedy like that. I don't like it when someone's the butt of the joke and isn't aware of it. But she does embody the role with so much glee and free-spiritedness that it's hard not to be amused.
I didn't listen. Oh.
What'd I miss? Oh, is it hot in here or is it just him?
Don't have any fun without me. Freeze!
Ooh.
Don't move one more muscle before I hug you. Hi, Jane.
The actress who plays that part is actually the co-writer. Now, that being said about how easy it is to watch her, the same can't be said about Alison Brie as the older sister Sloane. My goodness, is that character one note. It's the type of character range you'd expect from a supervillain. She's pompous, overly superior, jealous, self-centered, and petty without reason.
But then I have something meaningful to get out of bed for, so.
No.
I've always skated circles around you. I don't want to have this conversation anymore. So I feel sorry for you. Mom and Dad are going to be so heartbroken when they find out you've been lying to them.
Maybe there's a backstory for it, but it isn't revealed in the movie, and for a grown person to out someone, it's not something that should be taken lightly. And despite some super devastating fallout of losing the love of her life, Harper forgives her immediately.
I'm really sorry.
I know.
Me too.
Harper also proves her own better nature by not telling Sloane's secret, even after Sloane had put her on blast.
Very true, and we'll get into that in a minute. I also thought it was interesting the way the movie had another direction to go than a normal rom-com by using Riley. A normal rom-com, you'd have the love interest tempted by an ex of some kind, and then you create like this love triangle between the three of them. But in this, you have the idea that both partners could be tempted away by someone's exes. So while Harper is off with her ex-boyfriend Connor, Abby is getting closer and closer to Harper's ex-girlfriend Riley. When Harper stays out late with Connor, it makes Abby very, very upset and puts a strain on the relationship. And then when Harper sees Abby palling around town with Riley because she's being ignored by Harper, it makes Harper really upset.
That's the only unsatisfying part of the movie. We never get to see where Riley ends up. She's been irrevocably hurt by Harper in the past, and makes a pretty compelling connection with Abby throughout the film. And the only bit of closure she gets is that she's given an apology and a handshake.
I'm so sorry.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And like Shane, riding off into the distance, she goes.
Wow. Shane reference. That's a deep cut.
Blow me.
I'd say that the performance by Aubrey Plaza is really the reason why you are so unsatisfied with that. I mean, she's compelling as all hell as Riley. And I'd probably watch an entire second movie that was just a spin-off of what she was doing in between the scenes we see her in this movie. But my love for Aubrey Plaza goes back to Scott Pilgrim. She's like the perfect storm of what you'd get if you combine Johnny Depp and Parker Posey. But on to others. Kristen Stewart was very surprising in this. It was nice to see her in a relationship that consisted of more than wanton glances and locking herself in her room for months. There were a couple of moments here that she was upbeat, smiling, charming, having fun, which isn't really her brand. And they were very refreshing. Based on that, I'd love to see her take an ingenue role sometime.
Wasn't she Snow White?
Yeah, but would you characterize her Snow White as happy?
Not even a little bit.
Right. So, Harper is played by Mackenzie Davis, whom you may know from Terminator Dark Fate. I'm not sure how she does this, but despite being supremely selfish throughout this whole movie, she still remains likable. Maybe because she's so earnest in her desire to do right for everyone around her, and maybe because the chemistry with Kristen Stewart is so good. But through small facial cues, you can see the pain her character is in, having to live a lie and hide her true self. The scene where her sister outs her is particularly good acting-wise. There's a moment where she's about to, oh yeah, Sloane, and reveal that Sloane's perfect family, which is all she has to contribute to her father's political career, is a lie, and her marriage is in shambles. But she holds back, knowing that despite all her sister's actions, she isn't that person and isn't going to go that far. And it's all in a look.
Sloane is the one that has this big...
Of course, she then goes on to clobber her sister over the head with a painting, but that really is a much less hurtful gesture when you get right down to it.
I like this movie very much.
Me too.
I give it 2 thumbs.
And I give it 2 flippers.
Oh yeah. Oh, now I have to come up with a new rating system to accommodate additional thumbs. Oh. Okay. I liked it too. For all its tropes and cliches, it was fun. And it was interesting to see those tropes inhabited by queer representation. I will say it wasn't remarkably funny. It's more lighthearted and situational than filled with jokes. I might even say that without the farcical premise, this would be a romance, bordering on a drama. I give it 2 thumbs as well. Doc?
It was fine. It had 0 explosions, which is not a good thing for me.
It's a Christmas movie. They don't have explosions in those.
Our last 2 weeks were Christmas movies. Lego Star Wars and Jingle Jangle. And they both had explosions. Die Hard has explosions. Home Alone has fireballs, which are like mini explosions. The Santa Claus, Elf, Christmas Chronicles, Jingle All the Way, Scrooged, all improved by the inclusion of explosions. I bet your girl likes when you put big explosions inside things, don't you, Penny?
Anyway, Doc, your rating?
Well, with no explosions, I can't in good conscience give it 2 thumbs. But it did make me weep a bit. At the end. So, I will give it 1 thumb for sheer emotional impact.
Pretty high praise, if not a high rating. So, that is 7 out of 8 thumbs, which would very much put this in the must-see range. Okay, everyone, that's all we have. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, all the stuff. Also, don't forget to hit the bell if you'd like some notifications for new content when we put it up. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week right here on the couch.